Live, baby.
We're live.
We're
All
live.
right, here we go.
Hello.
What's up? What's going on? Welcome to the
Yo.
first episode of the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. I'll be your host, Sean. You know me. I know my fantasy football. I've been playing for 12 years. We've all been playing for around 10 years. We've been in a league together for 7. We're ready to help you win your league this year. I'm going to throw it to my boy, Dave.
What's up? This is Dave, other known as Ryan Daniels. You know, that's my real alter ego. I've been the champion last year. Beat Joey Schultz. Shout out Joey. I'm the top dog too.
All right, enough of that.
Whoa.
I'm Q. I'm the guy that you came here for. I'm the dark horse player in fantasy. We've been talking about doing this thing for a few years now, so I'm glad that we finally set it up and executed.
Yep.
T-Gods, I am the looks of the crew. I'm gonna have to carry heavy.
What?
Made it 2 chips, lost them both. Bad
I
John.
don't know if that's enough to brag about.
Hey, you made it there. You got that second place prize money.
Second place spread.
I didn't. That was before we started. Second place prize.
Yo, keep that keep it on the low. All right. Anyways, we're going to get right into it here with the fantasy news. We're going to start off with the opt-outs. Obviously, the season's going to be a little bit weirder than normal, but going on to the opt-outs, we really got to just focus on what players aren't going to be around. And the biggest name has to be Damian Williams. What are your guys' thoughts on Damian Williams opting out? How does that affect the Chiefs' run game?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man.
Yep, it's all.
Yeah.
him.
You gonna be noise.
I mean, Clyde Edwards,
I don't know
like
about top
him
five.
being
Top
out,
five.
him
Top
being out.
5. That's
Top
bold.
5 is.
That's hot gas.
I got him at 6. He's outside top 5 for me, but
I got him at like 11. Still a rookie. He hasn't proved nothing.
You got to think though. There's no preseason, no OTAs. I think we'll talk about that later when we go into quarterbacks. But I just think that he's not going to be the first, or like he's not going to be looked at unless it's like Kareem Hunt week 1 2 years ago. Then
yeah,
Like,
I hear what you're saying. But just think about the offense he's on. He's on the best offense in football with the best quarterback in football as the only running back on the roster. He's going to have to put up numbers on that team. So that's why I got him as my number 6 running back. I mean, I think Damian Williams opting out helps him out.
There's just a lot of guys that like over him that are established.
All right.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Playing it safe. But I'm willing to take the risk on a rookie, just like back in the day, Zeke, Saquon, first round running backs.
I know you are. You're that guy.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Let's not bring up some past stuff. All right. Other than that, there's really not many names that opted out that were big names. We got
unless you play IDP.
Oh my God.
Sure, no one does.
If you're picking your defensive players this year, I would not even play fantasy.
Stop. This man has been pushing for IDP for years for our league, and no one plays IDP. It's trash.
Sorry.
So sorry, Q. Other than that, back to who's fantasy impact. I mean, it's just some like 3rd or 4th wide receivers on teams that opted out, like Marquise Goodwin, Albert Wilson, Marquise Lee. Just guys that you're really not targeting unless you're picking them up as like a flyer, dart throw kind of guys. So other than that, we'll move on. Lamar Miller got signed this week. My old favorite player in the league, pretty much. I drafted him like every year. But what do you guys think that impact is going to have on James White, Sony Michel, the Patriots run game?
I think there's too many heads in New England, and I don't remember ever Bill Belichick going with one guy. But in 2018, before his ACL injury, he was like a 1,000-yard rusher, and he was splitting with Alfred Blue. Now, obviously, that would be a lot less with any Bulls there. Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, just too many guys. I would take him as a late round pickup.
Maybe like 9th, 8th round.
Don't expect him to do
Sony
anything
Michel
crazy,
is going to be nothing though. But James White should be the same production.
Sony Michel actually came out. He might not be ready for the start of the season because of his injury last year. So Lamar Miller might actually walk into a role where he's going to be the goal line back on the Patriots. The only thing that scares me is Cam Newton. Obviously, he's the best
Right.
goal line running back in the league. So
Fuck a running back.
Exactly.
some other news that came out over the past week or so: football on Saturdays is looking more and more likely. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 both just canceled their seasons. So what do you guys think about football on Saturday?
More football. That's what we like.
Is
Yeah,
anyone going to
I'll take
complain
it.
about more football?
Definitely not complaining.
Prime time football, I'll take it.
Yeah, I definitely would be interested in like Saturday night or like 1 or 2 games on Saturday. But if they start splitting it evenly between Saturday and Sunday, that just hurts red zone a little bit for me. I like that jam-packed Sunday football, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, there's no jam packed with
You want
Corona.
to see that Octobox?
7
Yeah.
hours commercial free.
Exactly, that octo box. You're not going to have an octo
Scott
box if
Hansen.
we're having if we're having games on Saturday like that. So that's the only thing that scares me a little bit. But more football, can't complain. All right, and finally, the last thing that came out over the past week or so, Darius Geis got arrested. We're not going to talk about what happened. We'll just leave
Not
that.
entanglement and stranglement. Big difference.
The scum.
I'm sure he would still be
Oh,
on the team if
man.
it was entanglement.
Well, I guess we are talking about it. But anyways, he was cut. So what effect does this have on the Redskins running game? What do you guys think?
Who gives a
It
fuck?
hurts them. It hurts them because he was their only hope, but now
The only valuable player on the
just
Washington football team is Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
And his quarterback, I might be better than him. So
Yo,
Stop, Q. We're not getting into you versus NFL players because we'll go down a rabbit hole for
we'll
an
talk
hour.
about the shout outs later.
Anyways, I actually think Antonio Gibson's an interesting pickup. He's the rookie running back for them. He might actually get some work out of the backfield, get a lot of pass catches, but nothing more than like a late round, like round 15, 16, someone you just throw on your bench or like someone you just keep your eye on the waivers. He might put up some numbers, but other than that, yeah, pick up AP if you really want a Redskins running back, but I'm pretty much
I
avoiding
don't know
that.
why you'd want one of them.
Avoiding that backfield at all costs.
be like RB5. You can match.
That's being nice.
Yeah. So transitioning into our quarterback talk for the day, we're going to go through all the quarterbacks, what we're thinking. Obviously, you got to start at the top. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. What are you guys? Who are you taking as your number one quarterback this year?
Lamar. Gotta be Lamar.
Marmar.
It's gotta be Lamar.
Patty
Not bad for a
Holmes.
running back, baby.
Patty
Not
Holmes.
bad
Look
for a
at that
running
1,000
back.
yards rushing, baby.
Yeah. All right. I hear where you're coming from. He adds that second layer of stats with the run game, but Patrick Mahomes also does use his legs a little bit. I'm taking
Right.
Mahomes first overall. If you look at Mahomes 2 years ago, he threw 50 touchdowns, but then last year he only had 28 total touchdowns. You know that's going to go back up. Mahomes is not going to throw for less than 30 touchdowns this year, no doubt. He also missed a game and a half last season as
Right.
well, so he was on pace to have a little bit better season than he did.
He still threw over 4,000 yards and he finished top 10 in scoring, missing, what was it? How many games? 1.5?
He missed like 1.5,
It's like- okay.
maybe
Yeah,
2
He'll
full
definitely
games.
beat either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no
you can't-
question about
You
that.
can't really go like Lamar threw 1,000 less yards, but he made it up with the 1,200 rushing yards. So obviously, I think I'd rather have the rushing yards in our point system over the passing yards, if I'm incorrect. But the Ravens are a run first team, so and Mahomes is always airing it out. I would definitely take Mahomes. And with their rookie running back, you don't know what trust they have him in or have in him early. So he's definitely going to be slinging it. He has way more weapons, or way better weapons, at least I'd say, over Lamar Jackson.
I would say it's pretty close. I mean, Kelsey,
No.
Pretty close, but
Kelsey,
the
Mark
Chiefs
Andrews,
should
you guys-
definitely
oh my-
have better weapons.
Mark
I'm
Andrews
glad
is
that-
still like a top 5, top 10 tight end in the league.
They have Tyreek Hill too. So
And they do have Tyreek Hill, but they have Marquise Brown. If he can stay healthy, he's a burner
not even
too.
close to Tyreek.
But he's not. I know he's not Tyreek Hill, but I'm saying like it's not like.
And
the
they have Willie Snead on
biggest
the other
drop
side.
off.
I forgot he was a goat.
Not a goat.
Exactly. It's sarcasm.
All right. Anyways, the only reason I'm a little scared of taking Lamar is number one, usually doesn't repeat. And also he had 43 total touchdowns last year. I think that comes down a little bit, somewhere to around like 30, 35, which puts him in like a top 5 quarterback still. Definitely taking him as one of the top 2 quarterbacks, but I think I'm taking Mahomes over. I think Mahomes bounces back and just goes crazy this year. He's going to be slinging it all over the field.
Can't argue with
Langing
it.
that thing.
It's a coin toss.
Also just depends on scoring as well. If you're throwing 6-point passing touchdowns, you got to go Mahomes. If it's 4-point passing touchdowns and 6-point rushing touchdowns, then Lamar obviously has some upside.
Obviously.
I mean, Lamar,
Yeah,
Lamar
exactly.
threw like 30-something touchdowns last year anyway. So
Yeah, he did throw 37, I think, or 36. So
I think 36. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, I think that comes down though, is what I'm saying.
You're wearing a
Definitely,
shirt, so-
maybe to like 30, but
25, 30, we'll see. Anyways, those are the top 2 guys. We're splitting hairs here. The big question about those 2 guys is where are you drafting them? Are you taking them in the first round? Taking them in the second round? What are you looking at here?
I think you have to at least wait till round 3. But
Third
once
round.
in our league, once one quarterback goes, they just fall.
He's
Well, at least
not falling to the third round. Neither of them are falling to the third round.
I think they'll fall to the third round.
I
One of
think
them.
early third, they'll probably start going.
I think in most leagues they're going to go in the first or second round, and I think that's just too early for me. Their ADPs right now is 12th overall, which is the end of the first round, and 13th overall, which is the start of the
That's
second.
too early.
It's just too early to
too
go for
early.
a quarterback, especially
Maybe
with
a
running
stud
backs.
running back, yeah.
Exactly. Running backs are so scarce. So, like, you
So
got to
scarce.
get one of them early.
Got it.
All right. Well, other than that, what quarterback are you taking after those two? What's your third quarterback there? Because I think I got a spicy take a little bit, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
All right.
It's
Dak.
not spicy.
Safe
I'm
with Russell
taking
Wilson.
Dak number 3.
Dak.
I'm taking
All right.
Dak
Okay.
number 3. You
Honestly,
can't
that's
be bad
fair.
in that offense. Mari Cooper, Michael Gallup,
Can't be.
CD Lamb. He had almost 5,000 passing yards last year.
I think the only thing that holds that offense back is Dak himself. But
That man can't
Nah,
win
Dak
a
will
real season, but he'll
perform.
But he'll win you weeks in fantasy, and that's what I
Right.
care about.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
exactly.
he was number 2 last year. I don't think you can go wrong with Dak. He's a pretty safe pick, but that's not who I have at number 3, anyways. Who you got? Who you got, Date?
I got Russell Wilson, Mr. Reliable. He'll give you 25, 30 points almost every week.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was looking at Russell Wilson, and I'm like, usually he's a second half guy, turns up, but last season he really didn't. Last season in the second
When he
half,
was
he only
tired of it.
averaged 17.9 points per game, and then in the first half he was averaging 23 points per game. So like, I don't
You like to
know.
run it a lot. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that scares
I
me.
mean, but
Exactly, they're a run first team.
yeah, but towards the end of the season, he also lost both of his running backs.
That is true.
And he
Carson.
has great outside weapon, a new outside weapon in DK. That man, he's gonna
DK is
finish
an animal.
over Tyler Lockett, and I'm booking it.
Whoa,
right, well,
that's kinda hot.
We'll talk.
whoa.
We'll talk about that in a future episode, but
Whoa.
but I'm Team Lockett there, anyways.
Just at this point, like, how could you
Lockett's
doubt the
my
man?
guy.
You can't doubt him. He's doing it all with a piece of paper as his offensive line.
All right. Well, I
That's
respect
true.
Russ.
Oh my God.
Russ is like the most established quarterback, pretty much. He's probably the safest guy to take in that spot. I definitely hear what you're saying, but I'm going risky. I'm taking Kyler Murray as the third quarterback off the board. Kyler Murray he was a rookie quarterback last year. He was QB 8 last year as a rookie on that awful Cardinals team, and now he gets DeAndre Hopkins. Why can't he be a top 5 quarterback now with one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league?
I just
Still
think
keeps
Definitely could.
there's too much hype. Last year he had 7 games with 15 points or less, and they weren't against the Giants. Garbage.
okay. That's like one of the games, but they did play a lot of tough defenses. He plays in a tough conference, so I mean, tough division.
But he does have insane receiving talent. Like the Cardinals defense hasn't improved at all. So they're gonna be playing from behind a lot. I'm sure he'll be slinging the ball just like Mahomes. And but I think it is close between 3 and 4. But I think Russ is safer. Kyler the higher ceiling.
The Hyler.
Kyler the higher ceiling.
Book it now. If you take Kyler Murray early in your draft, you won't regret it. That's the guy I'm looking for after those top 2 quarterbacks. He's going to put up
That's
numbers.
your guy, then yeah, you got to take him.
He's got too many weapons around him. The offense is in a second year of Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's just going to put up a crazy season.
Definitely could. I'll go Russell.
All right, so we'll move on to the middle of the pack here. I want you guys to rank.
Now it's about to get hot.
Oh, here we go.
Oh man, here
It's
we
about
go.
to get hot in here.
Oh man.
I want you guys to rank Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, 1, 2, 3. To you guys, we already know who you got at 1. Who you got after Dak Prescott at 1?
Oh my God, they're both throwing to. Who
No.
knows?
Don't disrespect.
I think I'd have to take D-Watt because Wentz really has no receivers.
Ertz?
Bro, no,
Andy?
Let me get the chance.
it's not. I got to take Dak. I think Will Fuller breaks out this year too. He's
I
going to
also
stay
think he
healthy.
breaks a leg.
He's bound to stay healthy one year.
Will
It's going to
Fuller,
be this year. I'm
I'm
telling
I'm with you. I'm with you.
16
I'm
games.
telling you.
All right, Dave. I want to hear what your rankings
All
are.
right. So after Russell Wilson, I got Deshaun Watson at 4. But I don't know. I might be thinking about Dak instead with all
Yeah.
the
Dak,
weapons. he
Dak
got.
is a solid option.
I hear what you're saying.
And then I don't even have Wentz after them.
Well, I'm just
Actually,
talking about just rank those three.
All right.
So Wentz would be
then
the
I
last
put
one
Wentz
there.
last. Yeah, he's
Right.
more of an injury bug and no weapons.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. Well, I'm gonna go before Q because I know he's ready to just rip into Deshaun
I'm
Watson.
pouncing on this.
But before he does, Deshaun Watson was quarterback 4 last year. He does get a little bit of a downgrade, obviously, when you lose a top 5 wide receiver. But if you're still keeping Brandon Cooks on that offense, there's just so much speed with Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, and if Will Fuller can stay healthy, I think Will Fuller can be a top 15 wide receiver in the league in general. He's showed that he can put up some crazy games. So I think Deshaun Watson, I can't drop him. I can't drop him yet. He's got too much talent. Even without DeAndre Hopkins, I think he's a quarterback that's just going to get the job done. And then I got to take Dak next. He's got too many weapons not to succeed. And then Wentz has to be third. I mean, Wentz, he was QB 10 last year, which was solid with absolutely no wide receivers. So to make an argument for him to move up a little bit makes a lot of sense. But Jalen Reagor, he's still a little bit unproven. He was kind of a shock pick during the draft, as well as Alshon. You don't know if he's going to be healthy. Deshaun Jackson, you don't know if he's going to be healthy. And Wentz is health himself. So I think that's got to be my order. But Q, I'll let you go now. Here you go. You got the spotlight.
All right. So you hate to say it as an Eagles fan, but Dak is the first of these three. I mean, second in scoring last year, as we've talked about. The offense is the same, if not better now with CD. It's hard to expect him not to do the same, if not better. His current ADP is 61. I think that he could possibly go earlier, but in our league personally, I don't think that he will go that early. Just because you're like, oh, Dak, it's Cowboy. But you have to take him. Like, if you saw the Instagram post, you know that he's bound to have another great season fantasy wise. Next, you have to go Carson Wentz. No bias here. And here, first,
Get it out.
10th in QB scoring, 4,000 yards last year with guys that they picked off the 69th Street Terminal. Big if, but if Alshon and Djax stay healthy, along with the addition of Reagor, Ertz, obviously, and Miles Sanders, I believe that he'll finish top 10, if not top 8. I do have Watson at 8, Wentz at 7, but that was just being nice to Watson. Now here's Watson. The obvious, they lost D-Hop. He has a solid starting running back in the backfield as David Johnson. So I don't think D-Watt will have the ball as much because he'll be able to use his running back. Besides, last year he had shitty ass Duke Johnson and Carlos Hyde, who is just hopping from team to team. They have the third hardest schedule this year. Like I said, with no D-Hop. Now he could run the ball. He could throw it. Who's going to throw it to? Kenny Stills, trash. Brandon Cooks died after the Super Bowl, and Will Fuller will have his 50-point game week 3, and then you won't hear of him again. So I just don't think that combo is good enough for Watson to be above Wentz.
That's just so much speed, and Wentz's offense is the same way. If you're looking at Wentz's offense, his wide receivers are all just speed, and can they stay healthy aside from Alshon? So if you're looking at the Texans wide receivers compared to the Eagles, I think they're pretty similar. I think Deshaun Watson's on a great offensive team in general. And David Johnson, he might be a solid running back, but he's one of the best pass catching running backs in the league. Deshaun Watson's going to be dump off city to David Johnson all the time when he's in trouble with that mediocre offensive line. I'll give him mediocre. I don't know.
Davy's got to stay healthy.
Okay, and if Davey doesn't stay healthy, then Watson goes lower. I don't think he's finishing in the top 10
I think he's just
this
going to have to throw a lot too. So.
He's not finishing in the top 10.
I see the argument.
Hot takes. But I can see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, let's move on. Don't want to spend too much time talking about Deshaun Watson. Let's get into the older quarterbacks, the old guys of the league. There's a lot of them this year that are kind of scattered all over the place, but we'll start with the big 3 that have been around for years. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. Obviously, let's start with Tom Brady. New face, same old face in a new place.
That was clever.
What do you guys think of where Tom Brady's going to do in Tampa Bay?
I have him ranked.
Go ahead.
I have him ranked number 10. I feel like it's hard to rank him anything outside of that just because of the weapons that he's. I mean, I wish I had where he was last year in scoring, but he still threw 4,000 yards with Edelman and just the same as Wentz. Guys picked up off the street. N'Keal Harry was a piece of shit.
He didn't
But
play.
now
He
he
was
has the
banged up.
best. He has the best receiving core in football, I'd say. Like 3 tight ends that could all go off each week, and I guess the running backs are all right, but Shady's irrelevant. But yeah, I think he out of the 3 that you mentioned he's the best, the most possible of finishing 10 or higher.
Higher. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go against you there. Drew Brees has to be the guy that's going to be next for me. I mean, he was QB 21 last year. Obviously doesn't sound great, but when you think about the fact that he missed 5 games, he was quarterback 7 on a points per game basis. So Drew Brees was borderline top 5 quarterback last year, still keeps Michael Thomas and adds Emmanuel Sanders. Drew Brees has to be the number 1 guy there for sure.
He can't throw 15 yards or more. His arm is 70 years old.
Oh my God.
All right, T-Gods, go ahead.
No, I mean, as much as I wanted to go against somebody here, I can't see how Brady doesn't finish top out all those guys. I mean, the offense is it's crazy. They got everybody you could ask for.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think Brady's just old, so that's the only thing that scares me a little bit. He's the oldest out of all the quarterbacks, so that's, I mean, in a new offense too with Bruce Arians. Yeah, it seems like he lagged out a little bit of
Now our
technical
cameras are all
difficulties.
messed up.
I'm sure he's going to join back
It's
in.
good. Now there's 2 Qs.
We'll continue anyways. Dave will be back in a minute. There he is. He's already back.
There we go.
Yeah.
There he is. He's back.
Right.
Lagged out for a second
Dave
there.
messed everything up.
First
I know,
podcast. What are you doing?
Come on.
All right. Anyways. Aaron, let's talk Aaron Rodgers. What are you guys' thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, Dave? You can start off since you're back in action.
Aaron Rodgers, I'd probably take him last out of those 3. Let me get to my QBs.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, he was QB9 last year, and honestly, it's kind of rare
That's
that Aaron
surprising.
Rodgers. It's kind of rare that he finishes a full season of 16 games. I mean, he's been getting banged up the last few years before that, but on a points per game basis, he was 14th, so he was well outside the top 10.
Last
So,
few
like,
years,
he
he
was-
hasn't been all that.
He was super inconsistent. The only reason he finished top 10 is because some other quarterbacks like Drew Brees and whatnot got hurt. So that's why I think I take Rodgers a little bit later than most people are taking
Yeah, I
him.
mean, who's he
Yeah, I would-
throwing to this year besides Devontae Adams?
Lazard.
Yeah.
Alan Lazard,
Aaron Jones,
some no-name guys. Like,
Exactly.
Lazard, yeah.
yeah, I got Aaron Rodgers at 11, right outside the top 10. He's still Aaron Rodgers. Like,
Exactly.
You hear that
can't
name?
count him out.
you
Can't
hear
count
that
him
name, you can't count him out. But out of those 3, I'm taking the other 2 over him for sure. But there are some other older quarterbacks, maybe a little less relevant. I know Q's pretty high on one of them, but we got Big Ben, Stafford, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan. Which guys do you think is the best out of those 4 for this season?
I have Matt Ryan ranked 6th.
Wow.
Whoa, what?
Now maybe there
That-
will be some adjusting, but he has the best receiver in football. Not Mr. Slant Thomas. He's got Julio Jones. He's got Calvin Ridley. I would say they're a top 3 receiving core in the league. They just picked up Todd Gurley, and I mean, they're as of right now, Hayden Hurst is a sleeper, but I believe he could be a relevant tight end also. They're always every game. I don't know the last game they've played with a lead, but they're always throwing the ball because their defense is non-existent. So I just think he is the best out of those guys.
The only way I don't see Matt Ryan getting to like quarterback 6 is because he was quarterback 11 last year and not much has changed. So like he wasn't really banged up last year and he finished quarterback 11 and then he lost Austin Hooper, who was like his favorite guy last year. So that's the only thing that scares me a little bit with him. I'm higher on Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was 4th in points per game last season before he got hurt. Matt Stafford was a baller. He's still got some pretty solid weapons. Kenny Galladay, I think, is going to be a beast this year, as well as Marvin Jones is still a crazy deep threat. Matt Stafford's going to air it out. Their
They got
defense sucks,
DeAndre
so.
Swift to balance out their
And then
offense.
Hawkinson.
I think DeAndre Swift will be big for them too.
Yeah, I like Matt Stafford a lot.
I
I'm
hate that
definitely taking him
Kerryon
pretty high.
Johnson. Kerryon Johnson reminds me of Gator, and I hate that.
That's
I like
all right.
Carry On though.
Carry on's all right. I think DeAndre Swift takes over most of that
They
workload.
definitely will.
Yeah.
1,000 yards this year.
For sure. Big Ben was banged up last year. I drafted Big Ben. Before the season,
You wanna
Big Ben
talk
was
about
on my
it? Are you
team.
sure
I'm
you wanna
going to
talk
bring it
about
up. This man who's wearing the Lamar Jackson shirt offered me Lamar Jackson in a trade straight up for Big Ben.
I think we should talk about how
Why
Lamar
didn't he
went in the
accept
12th
it?
round. He went in the 12th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamar went. Well, everyone was a little sleep on Lamar last year,
No one knew what Lamar would do.
but still, I could have had him. I kind of wish I accepted that trade nowadays, but
Could have had a second chip too.
but I still think Big Ben could be a decent option this year. I just don't see
I offered
how
him the
he's going
T
to be.
guys too, right?
You were throwing Lamar Jackson. You were throwing him around the league last
T-God
year.
said no too.
You didn't believe in him, but I understand why you believe in him now.
Love Lamar.
Won you the chip, so. But yeah, Big Ben. I mean, I don't think he's super relevant. He's going to be pretty late round guy. Do you guys even have Phillip Rivers on your radar?
No.
No.
Not really, no.
Nope.
He's
Thanks.
cooked.
I like him a little
I
bit
never liked
just
him.
because he's just
That's your
consistent.
guy.
Like
That's-
as a backup quarterback by week fill in, Phillip Rivers is solid, especially with Ty. He could have a few big games this year. Moving on, young quarterbacks. Let's talk about the rookie, number 1 overall, Joe Burrow.
I'm in the pocket like Burrow.
Is
Yeah.
Joe Burrow relevant for you guys this year?
He's my number
Yeah, hell
15
yeah.
ranked quarterback. Number
my
15.
13th ranked.
That's a little
13?
high. That's
Whoa,
a little high.
whoa.
13?
You got to have him over somebody
4,000
crazy.
yards. 4,000 yards. 30 touchdowns.
30 touchdowns.
He
Stop.
does have AJ. AJ's
12
the goat.
picks. 12
30
picks.
touchdowns is a
He'll
lot of
throw
touchdowns.
a good amount of picks. He's a rookie, but he's
AJ's
going to be
not
slinging
touch the
that.
He's
He's going to be slinging the rock.
They're
Like,
trying to
like
get
he
on a-
was at LSU.
Sean.
He's going to be slinging the rock.
Depends
Sean,
on AJ's health.
Sean, K-Harp is trying
Tyler
to get on a
Boyd's there.
FaceTime right now, and I'm telling him to fuck off. And I know he's watching.
Why is he calling you during the
It's going to be
podcast?
entertaining.
All right. Anyways, ignoring that. I don't think I'm drafting Joe Burrow as a starter. I think he's someone I'd take a late round flyer on. Like, let me pick up Joe Burrow, see if he puts up numbers. I'm not going out of my way to draft him as my only quarterback. I think that's just too risky for me personally.
Yeah. I would definitely grab like a backup if I grab Burrow.
Yeah, for sure. What about Josh Allen? You guys think Josh Allen's a top 10 quarterback this year?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I got him at like 6.
Yeah, I mean, I
Ooh,
can
that's a
understand
little
why.
Dollar store Lamar, dollar store Mahomes is making top 10.
That adds $2 though.
Sorry.
Josh Allen's quarterback 6 last year. I got him as like quarterback 7, I think. So Josh Allen's someone I'm targeting in the middle of the rounds. If you're looking at for a quarterback still, Josh Allen's going to be solid, no doubt. Other than that, there's only one other young quarterback I'm really looking at to draft, and that's Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. I think he's got some potential this year. How about you guys?
I think I have him ranked 20th. I don't see I think people are on the Daniel Dimes train because
Daniel
he
Dimes.
has Daniel Dimes, whatever. I wouldn't draft him. Like
I wouldn't mind.
It's
having
Saquon.
him
It's the
as a
Saquon
backup.
show. It's the Saquon.
If I
show.
get like a Matthew Stafford or a Josh Allen, I won't mind having him Daniel Jones as a potential breakout.
Fumble monster, I don't know what he is interception wise, but he's never had his weapons on the field at once, all of them.
Exactly.
So,
Helps.
but like, what if they're not? Then he's trash again.
He does have some inconsistent weapons with
He was pretty
in terms
good.
of injuries. Sterling
That's what's
Shepard's been
affecting.
banged
That's
up.
what's affecting his ranking.
Ingram's been banged up, but I still think he's got potential in the second year in offense. I know their offensive line got a little bit better. Well, Nate Solder opted out, but still pretty solid.
Trash.
Still pretty solid. I got him as QB 14. I'm drafting him around the same spot. I'm drafting Joe Burrow like as a second quarterback. I don't want him as my only quarterback. Other than that, some other young guys around the league: Gardner Minshew, Drew Lock, Sam Darnold. Any interest in taking any of them?
Drew
Or just
Lock.
late round
Swing
flyers.
me
Yeah,
some
they're
Drew Lock.
waivers.
I
They'll
like
play
Drew
the
Lock.
waiver wire.
He's just got it. He's just
They're all
got that
waiver wire
swag. I'm
guys.
telling you.
After that video of him singing, yeah,
He's
he's
just
got
I'll put on.
he's
for
he's
my
got
city.
moxie. He's got what you want in a quarterback.
No one's
He'll
draft.
be
No
all
one's picking up Gardner Minshew and
I don't
starting
think
them
he's
once
fantasy
this
relevant.
year, and I will. No one's starting Gardner Minshew this year.
Yeah,
Why
no,
would
thank
you?
That's
Yeah,
what
no
it is.
thanks. Jaguars are going to be the worst team in
Someone will
football.
start him this year.
Jaguars are going to be the worst team in football, in my opinion. They're
Go
just,
ahead.
The Jets or the Redskins?
Redskins easly. No, they're not even the Redskins. We're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
Washington football team.
yeah, you can't say the R word, man. Come on.
demonetized first episode.
So one other guy I wanted to talk about, Baker Mayfield. What are you guys' thoughts on him? Is he going to bounce back this year, or is he just irrelevant?
Irrelevant.
Middle
This
of the
is-
pack.
It's his last year to prove himself, or else I feel like the Browns will ship him out. But there's no way he can't succeed. He has Jarv, the TikTok that you put up today, Super Fantasy
Oh
Pros.
my.
Then
Check out the
how do you
TikTok.
explain last year then?
No, he's just garbage.
He's just bad.
But
He
he
is
has
Didn't they
bad.
get a
one
new coach? Didn't they
new
get a-
coach. Yeah, new coach.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator was really bad last year, so I think that'll help
And
a
Freddie
little bit.
Kitchens, not ass.
Yeah, Freddie Kitchens was just bad, so I think that'll help a little bit. We'll see. I think he needs Hooper and Njoku on the field to succeed. In his rookie year, he had a lot of 2 tight end sets,
Gassing
which
Joke.
really, it's not the fact that Njoku, he just needs 2 tight ends
And
because his
Joku is
O-line
better
is
than
bad.
Hooper.
I think for pass
He's
protection,
Jojo.
when he had 1 tight end on the field last year, he struggled a lot. So I think that's something that's got to be reworked. That'll help him out a little bit, but not someone I'm targeting. Other than that, 2 interesting guys. Will they, won't they bounce back? Cam Newton, Tyrod Taylor, both guys that have been top 10 fantasy quarterbacks in the past. Tyrod Taylor was kind of a one-hit wonder on the Bills.
That's your guy.
but Cam Newton was top 5 for a while. Are you guys drafting either of them? And are they
That's funny.
anywhere near the top 10?
No one's drafting either of them.
Hell no.
Whoa. No one's drafting either of them. I'm taking Cam Newton.
Oh, Cam. I mean,
Cam Newton, no, yeah.
I would scoop Tyrod as a backup, though. I think he's a sleeper this year because he's on the starter. The Chargers have weapons: Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. Like, there's no he has legs. He's a little old, but I think that he's bound for a good season with the Chargers.
He was pretty decent on the Browns before he got benched for Baker too. That's when he got hurt. So
Right.
I think Tyrod Taylor put up some decent numbers, but I'm not targeting him. He's
That's-
waiver bait until I see him
I
prove
have
it
him
to me.
ranked 30.
That's a hell of a pick.
It is
Yeah.
another
He's
thing,
got no
though.
arm.
You got to think, though, they have Herbert. He could get benched for another rookie, but Anthony Lynn
Yeah.
did say that he liked Tyrod, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's got faith in him. I think he can be okay, but nothing more than like a waiver fill-in. Cam Newton, though, I'm taking him right outside as a starter. I take him as I just need someone to pair him with just to be safe. But on a Bill Belichick offense, why can't Cam Newton succeed? Why can't he run in 10 touchdowns this year? I think the Patriots are still going to put up points. They're still going to put up a fight for that division. There's really not much competition outside of the Bills, so they still have a chance at the playoffs with
The
7
Dolphins.
teams. So I think Cam
I
Newton,
like Cam.
he's got a lot to prove. I want to see him prove it, but I think he's someone I'm targeting later in the
anyone
drafts with
If
some
anyone
upside.
can help Cam break out of the slump, it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Like quarterback whisperer.
Bill
I mean,
Belichick.
if
Billy
Brady was
Bell.
Brady's been considered a system quarterback his whole career, why can't Cam Newton just plug into the system and put up some big numbers?
Yeah, he'll succeed there.
Exactly. All right, let's move on. Tight ends. We're gonna talk about some tight ends, and then we'll get in some Q&A afterwards. But tight ends, you got to start at the top again. Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Who are you guys taking as your number one, and where are you drafting them?
Definitely got to go Kelsey number one. I'm pretty sure he's number one. Like for the past 3-4 years now.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
about that. Was he number one?
Who else?
I don't think-
Ertz. In
I think Ertz had a
2017.
season where he put up
Maybe
more,
Ertz.
but
17.
Kelsey's been top 3 pretty much
Kelsey's-
for the last few seasons, no doubt. I think he's the
Double-digit
safest.
points every game.
You got to
Yeah.
think he's got the best quarterback. He'd probably I would take
He's just the
Kelsey number one.
safest.
I think I'm leaning towards Kittle nowadays. I think
my
both of
God.
them, but Kelsey's definitely safer, but I think Kittle's
You're
got more
fried.
upside. Kittle missed 2 games last year. They averaged the exact same amount of points. If he didn't miss those games, he could have easily been number one. And now Deebo Samuel's going to miss a lot of games. He's really like the only main target on that offense. Jimmy Garoppolo is just going to dump it off to him 5, 6, 7, 8 times a game. So I'm taking George Kittle first, but I'm not taking either of them before the second round, like late second round at the earliest point. It just seems first round is a little bit too much of a reach for me personally.
Both of their ADPs have them taken at the end of the first, early second round. Actually, yeah, that's way too early.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
crazy.
Travis Kelce's going right at the end of the first. I think his ADP is like 15th
Just like
overall.
quarterbacks, though, once
That's
one
insane.
goes, Kittle goes, Kelsey will go, or Ertz will go, or something.
Yeah, I definitely hear you there. But after those two, who's your next guy?
Ertz, baby.
I
Gotta
think
be
those are the top 3. Yeah.
Yeah, Ertz has just been consistently top 3, no doubt. I think Mark Andrews has a case to be made, possibly as top
Definitely.
3, but I'm still taking Ertz. He's just
And I
safer.
think
He's
the-
Wentz's
Ertz.
go-to guy. So
The only case he has to be top 3 is the fact that Dallas Goedert is an emerging tight end, so I think he could cut into some of the targets that Ertz would get. So I think, but I would still take Ertz number 3. I don't see the hype on Mark Andrews, though I have him ranked at number 4.
I got him at number 4 too. I think Mark Andrews and Ertz are being drafted around where they should be. Ertz is like 35th, right at the end of the 3rd. Mark Andrews is at the beginning of the 4th. I'm looking at both of those guys in those spots. So I think I got him right there as well. Other than that, let's get into the middle of the pack tight ends. Evan Ingram, Darren Waller, the baller. Where are you guys taking these guys?
I'd probably go Ingram 5th. I want to just FYI, I found Ingram. I discovered Ingram in our league.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure he was
Well,
discovered at the draft by the Giants.
I would take Ingram. Then I would take. Here's my low-key dark horse
God.
for the number 1 tight end, Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, you're
Number
fine.
1?
Oh,
What?
Last year
He's like a siren.
And if he does what he did in the last like 5 weeks, next year or this coming up season, he'll be number 1.
Yeah, he definitely could put up some big numbers, but I think you're a little high on that one.
No, he's not. He's my number 6, but I'm saying he could be. He could finish.
I still think number 6 is too high for Tyler
Right, that's
Higbee.
way too high.
I'm taking Ingram, Waller, guys that have proven themselves.
I'm
Baller,
taking
baller.
Gronk. I'm taking Gronk over Ingram.
Whoa. Now
Look,
it's getting spicy in here. I think I might have to get up and leave.
Over
I might have to turn the air
man.
conditioner on or something, dude.
No,
Cool it down in
Gronk-
here.
I mean, both are injury-ridden tight ends. I think that Gronk is walking CTE, but having Tom Brady as his quarterback and like their offensive line, they did allow a lot of sacks last year to Jameis Winston, and Tom Brady's not one to run. So I think having Gronk there as the number 1 TE and the safety blanket, he will be that guy getting a lot of the targets.
Too many mouths to feed. There's just too many guys.
Gronk will get
Brady
his.
and Gronk date.
Gronk will get his.
Gronk hasn't played a full season since 2011.
He just took a
Exactly.
year off, bro.
Even
And
worse.
he took a year off.
He's
He,
healthy.
had, he lost so
Multiple
much
years.
weight and had to put it back on.
Now
He'll
he's
get his, bro.
walking
Him and Brady
CTE
have
is the secret
such
weapon.
crazy chemistry. It's crazy.
I don't know. I think Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are going to make up the majority of that offense. Gronk's going to be a third option afterthought. You need him
I
to
think
fall into the end zone.
Mike Evans is going to be like get the short end of the stick.
He shouldn't. He's the best. He's the best
No,
receiver on the
he's-
team.
He's like the vertical bull. He's not gonna. Brady.
I think
Alright.
Brady's just going to throw it up to him. So.
Brady
That's
can't
for a
throw
different
more than
episode.
30 yards.
All right. Anyways, moving on from Gronk. He's if you like Gronk, take him. But I'm his ADP is now 57th in the middle of the 5th round. I'm not
That's
reaching
early.
on
That's
Gronk
early. That's early.
anywhere near that
The
spot.
5th round. Oh.
The middle of the 5th round, Gronk's being taken, so I'm not taking him anywhere near that spot.
That's that's fucking ADP. ADPs are always gassed.
I think the middle round tight ends, if you miss out on those top 4 guys, I'm one that's pretty much just going to wait, just because if you're looking at Evan Ingram, he's had injury concerns. He always is banged up. You're looking at Darren Waller. Is he for real? Is he fluky a little bit? They also added Jason Witten. They added Nelson Aguilar. As much as he stinks, he's still going to take some targets. They added Ruggs as well. So they added a lot of pass catching options onto that team. I just don't know if Darren Waller is going to get all the targets that he did. So
I am glad that
I
you
don't
said
like 'em.
talking about waiting, because the tight end and the quarterback, those are the 2 very important positions that you need to hit in the draft or like before the season starts, because unless you're Joey Schultz or Kevin Harper getting Darren Waller and Austin Hooper, 2 top tight ends, or Kevin Harper getting Richard Rodgers and like
oh
a
my god.
goat week, you're gonna
That
fail.
was against me.
Nah, you can live without a tight end.
No, you
I pretty
can't.
much did last year. I did not have a tight end last year.
and he
You
won the
need to
chip.
draft- You
Mike
need a good
Gesicki.
tight end.
It was my.
He's
tight
good.
end.
He's good.
It was pretty good. Like,
That was a good shout out to Schultz, though. He did draft Austin Hooper last year. He drafted Mark Andrews and picked up Darren Waller as a free agent. So he was
The
stacking
TE
on
guru.
tight ends.
Guru.
If you need any advice, you might have to bring him onto the podcast one day. He'll talk. He's a tight end specialist. But I think Austin Hooper's a good late round target. He's on the Browns now, so I think that hurts his value a little bit. But when he was healthy last year, he was an insane. He was an insane tight end. I think he finished at tight end 6 despite missing a lot of games. And he's currently being drafted as the 14th tight end off the board. If you want to wait late, that's a guy I'm targeting for sure. There's some other late round guys that you're looking at: Noah Fant, Mike Gesicki, TJ Hawkinson.
The young bulls.
Hunter Henry, low key.
Yeah, Hunter Henry. Forgot to talk about him too. I think I got him as like number
Tyler
7.
Eifert.
I don't really like him with Tyrod.
Yeah, Tyrod takes away from his value a little bit. Philip Rivers loves tight ends, so I don't know if Hunter Henry's going to put up the same numbers, but
He should be
All right,
ours.
so
yeah. Other than that, and Ebron, where are you guys?
Skinny
who's-
Ebron.
Skinny
I like
Ebron, that man's gonna have a good year.
that.
Who was your favorite out of these late round targets that if you miss out on the middle guys, you miss out on the top guys. If you wait till the last one, who's that tight end sleeper that you're taking?
Ebron.
Gasecki.
No, well, I wouldn't consider him late. He's gonna be top 10.
I don't know if he's
All
top
right.
10 everywhere. I think he's
Okay, for
current,
not
his current
for
ADP is like
Then
12 or
I'd go
13.
either like Hayden Hurst or Goddard or Ebron.
Goddard's bugs.
Ebron then.
I think Goddard would be the one. I'm taking Noah Fant personally. I think Drew Lock.
No
Is-
offense.
Lock.
Drew Lock's going to
go.
be playing it safe. Noah Fant, he can catch some
put
deep
on
balls,
with
but he's
full
also going to be
city.
open over the middle. So he's who I'm looking for since they have so many wide
They
receiver
have a lot of
weapons.
mouths to feed though. They got Judy, Sutton, They added Melvin Ingram. They got Philip Lindsay. They got
They got
I was like
Melvin Gordon?
Melvin Gordon.
They got Melv.
You said
Yeah, I
Melvin
know
Ingram.
that.
Did I?
Linebacker Melvin Ingram catching passes for Drew Lock.
IDP baby.
They got
IDP.
Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay.
No one likes IDP. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think Font is still going to put up some numbers. Honestly, tight end is the weird position. A lot of people are moving away from even having a tight end slot in their league. So
Not in our league because no one likes change.
I hear you. A couple other guys I want to talk about: Jimmy Graham and Greg Olson. They're still playing, shockingly, on new teams. Chicago Bears, Greg Olson. Greg Olson's on the Seahawks. Are you guys targeting either of them, or are they just
Not
too
on
washed?
my radar. Undraftable.
Undraftable.
If Nick Foles is a starter in Chicago, I would consider scooping Jimmy Graham, but I would still take Greg Olson just because he has the better quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think I'm touching either of these guys either. They're too old. I just need to see him prove it, and then maybe I'll pick them up off waivers. But
Jimmy Graham is a refrigerator. He literally cannot move.
I'm sorry. Have you played against them?
Yeah, I have.
all right, guys, let's get into the Q&A here. We got a few questions submitted on our Instagram, so follow us on Instagram, Super Fantasy Podcast. Follow us on there, and you can submit questions. We put it on our story during the week.
We lit,
first,
baby.
The first question we got is an interesting one. It's from at Ty Eisman, Eiseman. Asked, should fantasy leagues get rid of kickers? Now, honestly, kickers are pretty sporadic. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I like having a kicker.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's a nice
It's extra
little piece.
points.
Yeah.
Extra points. People
I know.
love points.
I mean,
People love points.
People love points.
I guess I hear what you're saying. It is extra points, but they're so inconsistent. They really don't change much of the game except really like there's no skill in drafting a kicker pretty much.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no,
It's all just luck. It's just added luck to your team. So I can understand getting rid of it.
You pick the kicker that's on the good team. That's the strategy.
I would say get rid of a defense, if anything.
That's
What do you need a defense for?
Q loves defense, dude. If you get rid of defense and no IDP, I think he wouldn't play fantasy.
Defense literally can lose you a week. It was getting negative like 6.
Yeah, they can. They can. It
That's your
depends
fault
on your
for starting them.
depends on your
Yeah,
scoring
okay.
settings.
You can literally be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
against the
defenses are
fucking
inconsistent,
Jets.
but kickers are also inconsistent. You can miss a field goal and then not kick.
Yeah, but
Any
I
field
don't
goals.
think we should get rid of kickers. It's just another person to watch.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
another person to.
Another
Got
hope for Monday Night Miracle when you're
Yeah.
down by 7
can
points and you got your kicker.
Yeah.
You never know. So I think it adds a little bit of spice to the game, but I can understand why you wouldn't want one. All right, let's move on to the second question here. From at Fimbo Zosh, my boy Frankie. He asked, what's your favorite spot to draft from? So let's say we play in a 12-team league. Where are you drafting? You drafting in the beginning of the draft, drafting at the end, or are you drafting in the middle?
I've only drafted in the middle, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the middle is all
Really?
I know, but if I were to pick, I might still go middle just because the weight. But like at the same time, it's like maybe no. I'd go 12. I'd be 12. 12. Make me last.
I've had picks
He's switching up
everywhere
here,
in the
crazy.
draft. I've had like every pick ever. But
Yeah, same.
I've had the most success at number 4. So I might go with number 4 again this year.
Yeah,
But I'd probably go like 2 or 3. A little
Yeah.
earlier. Get
Yeah, I like going early. especially in a year like this where you can just snag one of those go-to top running backs that is safe, solid. If you get one of those later picks, you might miss out on, or you might take a chance on like Miles Sanders or Josh Jacobs, and they might end up flopping. So I think the top running backs this year, anywhere from 1 through 5 or 6, if you can snag one of those running backs or Michael Thomas, those are my favorite spots this year, no doubt. All right.
The easiest
third
question.
The third question, it seems pretty easy, but it was from Phil Bassetti on Instagram. Another one of my buddies here. He said, who will have a better year, Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield? And I think you all know how I feel about this. Kyler Murray's top 3 for me.
I don't think
we should all know this.
This is the easiest question ever. I'm not even going to answer it. I'm not answering it.
Let's get Gator in here and ask him that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Let's go to the chat here. Let's ask for any more questions. Anyone have any questions that you're thinking about? I know we got 11 people in here. What are you guys thinking? What do you guys have any questions right now?
All I can say is Vince did say Noah Fant's going to be top 5 tight end. Not a question, but I did think that was something interesting.
That's bad.
That's a good take.
That is super hot.
Every time I played Noah Fant last year, I got roasted for playing Fanta. So
Oh my God.
That man, I'm not touching that man.
Nah, he is upside.
We do have a question here from @KingKongSam9. He said, what quarterback gets COVID-19 first? I think that's such a horrible question.
That's a good question, though. That's a great question.
Wait, what was it?
What quarterback gets COVID-19 first?
Probably Brady.
It's going to be Gardner Minshew because he said that that COVID's scared of him. So we'll see.
It'll be Brady. Old ass.
He'll probably die.
Nah, that's not funny.
Yeah, I don't think that's a super serious question here, but I think COVID does have an impact on how you're drafting this year and how you're playing. I think most leagues are going to be adding an IR spot or another bench spot that's really going to have that option. So if your player does get COVID, they're out for a couple of weeks, that you can put them somewhere so you don't have to drop them and extend your bench. I would definitely recommend doing that in most leagues this year. We're also getting some requests here to open the box, T-Gods. You got a mystery package behind you. What on earth is in the box? Why is there a box behind you?
I hope it's not your dick.
I didn't see the box.
Okay.
Whoa,
Okay,
Q.
really?
What we got?
Hold on. Can we answer this other question real quick though?
Capture
while I'm
card.
opening?
All right.
Vince,
We got one more. Yeah,
Nick Chubb or Sanders?
if available.
Wait, what?
Nick Chubb or Miles Sanders. Who are you taking if they're available?
Chubb.
I think I gotta go Sanders here.
I think I'm going Sanders
easily
too.
taking Booby.
No,
Yeah.
I
All right, Q. Defend your Nick Chubb take over there.
I love Booby, but as long as Doug Peterson has been the coach of this team, when has there been one guy, the running back? Like Boston Scott finished top 7 last year in fantasy with Booby breaking out. Yeah,
Top 7.
look-
What?
What are you
Like-
talking about?
Like he had the best top 7 like fantasy. All right, chalk it. But
Chalk it. Just chalk it. He was top
look it
7.
up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. I'm taking Chubb over Booby, even though I love Booby. I just think that there's still going to be a committee there in Philly, and Chubb is just the guy.
Committees everywhere.
Yeah, but
Did you forget about Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he's that much of a factor.
So you think Boston Scott is more of a
All right.
factor than Kareem Hunt?
That's a bold take.
Is that what you're saying?
Plus Odell Jarvis.
If you look
Yes.
at this, if you look at the stats from last year, Nick Chubb, when Kareem Hunt came in, had 101 fantasy points. Kareem Hunt had 94. He was 7 points behind him. Nick Chubb was RB 23 from that point on when Kareem Hunt came in, and Kareem Hunt was RB 24. I think it's a true timeshare. Kareem Hunt actually played more snaps. He played 61% of the snaps because the Browns were always down.
It depends if the Browns are good or not.
If the Browns are up games, Nick Chubb's going to put up big numbers, break long runs. He's obviously going to do that. But I think Kareem Hunt is a true, makes it like a true duo for sure.
TD dependent.
So I'm taking Miles Sanders personally.
Booby does it all. PPR monster.
The box.
All right.
It was a ring light
He's a good
and
boy.
a stand.
All right.
A little late for the
everybody that
podcast,
was-
I guess.
It was a little bit late, about 20 minutes late.
That's what he wants you to think.
Yeah, there might have been something else in that box. I think he just pulled that out from under his desk or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
really?
what was in there?
Really?
Yeah.
You hiding?
Don't worry about it.
And then we actually have one more question. Will Andrew Luck come out of retirement? Hard pass. I don't think
I
he's coming out
wish.
of retirement.
I
I wish he would
wish.
too.
I
It
have
was
a better chance of going to the NFL than him coming out of retirement.
all right. Actually, I think that's wrong.
I do think
Andrew
that's
Luck's
wrong.
definitely got a better chance. All right. All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. At the end of every episode, we're gonna have our comedian hot take, Chris Quares, give us his joke of the week. So let's hear it, Q. I want to laugh.
It's a good one. What do you call? I mean, sorry, I fucked up.
Oh, you're messing up the joke,
Come on.
man. It's first joke of the week.
What does the janitor say when he jumps out of the closet?
I don't know. What does the janitor say?
Supplies.
Oh
man.
my god.
Oh man. Okay.
All right. All right. I think that's going to be a wrap for us, guys. Tune back in next week. Follow us on all our social medias. As you can see, they're all below here. Follow
Same
us.
time.
Same time every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Tune in. Also follow the Super Fantasy Bros podcast on TikTok. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitter, Instagram. Follow us everywhere just so you can stay up to date with the posts. Pretty sure that's it. I guess we're out here. I think that's
Fuck
a wrap.
Addison Ray. We're
That's it.
taking over TikTok.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bold John. All
That's
right.
a bold take. All right. Peace out.